Hey you all, I'm Counselor Young and this is Counseling for the City. As you can see, I'm going to give you 16 games that you can play with your class safely during COVID. This came up as a concern as I was talking to my administrators a couple of months ago, and we were discussing some of the building changes and protocols that we would have to put in place to make sure that our students were safe. So we were talking about it, and then we got to the playground and we stopped like, how's this going to work? So I thought about it on my own for a little while, and I put my camp counselor hat back on. I was a camp counselor and eventually a camp director over the span of 5 years. So as my time as a camp counselor, we had to be really creative and quick with games that we had for our our campers, especially when we were on field trips and we didn't have materials available with us. So again, I'm going to get into these 16 COVID-safe recess games, starting with those that are more appropriate for your younger ages, starting as low as pre-K and then moving up. Relay racing. We've all done this one before. So you want to have a designated beginning and ending mark for your races. And so then you're also going to split up your class so that they can race against each other. You can switch it up and have each round be a different type of race, like a crab walk or a one-legged hop. 1, 2, 3, look. Everyone starts off in a circle with their head down. You, the teacher, are going to say 1, 2, 3, look. And when you say look, everybody has to look up at eye level. They can move their head anywhere from shoulder to shoulder, but they can't be looking all the way behind them, because then obviously they won't be able to see anyone else in the circle. But if that person raises their head and they make eye contact with anyone else in the circle, then those two people are out. And this repeats until you have only 2 people left in the circle. Animal guessing game. So this game is played by choosing one person to act out an animal. And basically the rest of the classroom have to guess what that animal is. It's like a low-level charades, but it makes it easier for younger kids because you're limiting it only to animals. So there's not a wide range for them to try and guess of what that other person is doing. Fruit salad. This game is played by assigning your class with fruits interchangeably. You want to be careful of using a minimum of 3 fruits. There's going to be a person in the middle who yells out one of those fruits, so like orange. So everybody who's assigned orange would be running around the circle trying to steal somebody else's spot. The person in the middle is also battling for someone's spot as well. The person who is left without a spot in the circle is now the person in the middle who has to call out the different fruits. This keeps going and no one gets out. So this is a really great game for younger kids because you won't have arguments about who's out or, tantrums about not winning. Simon Says. One person is assigned as Simon, and that person has to yell out a list of commands for the rest of the classroom to do. The classroom should only be following these commands if Simon starts the command with Simon Says. Anyone who does not follow the commands correctly is out. Red light, green light. One person acts as a traffic light, and then they shout out either red, yellow, or green light. Yellow light means to walk, green light means to run, and then red light means to stop completely. Anybody who's still moving after red light is yelled, they are out. Basically, the point of the game is to reach the traffic light first. Pass the goofy face. So this is another great one for my young babies, especially if you have a really goofy class. So this is also a great game to play during breaks during your day. So like a restroom break. One person, they start off with a goofy face and they pass it to the next person, whether that's down a line or in a circle. But you have to repeat the same face all the way around. So it's basically like telephone, but with faces. Counselors, this is a really great game if you want to practice facial recognition with emotions. You're welcome. Sea to shore. This game is also called Captain's Coming and Ship to Shore. This is a highly complex game for beginners, so make sure you warn your students before you teach them how to play. If you've never played before, I highly suggest you check the description box below for the full list of commands. To play, someone, most likely you, the teacher, will yell out commands like swab the deck or man overboard. The students will have to complete the correct actions that goes with your command. Anyone that does it wrong is out. You keep going until there's only one person standing. It can become lengthy because essentially you want to get people out like Simon says. So you really need to consider your classroom's patience level before playing this game. Poison arrow dart frog. Students create a circle and one person is in the circle is the frog. No one should know who the frog is but the frog themselves. One person is a detective and stands in the middle of the circle. When you tell him to go, the detective will spin around the circle and try to find out who the frog is. Meanwhile, the frog will make eye contact with other people in the circle and dart out their tongue like so. When a person sees that, they have to play dead. The detective has to guess the frog before all the players are dead, or they are stuck being the detective for the next round. If the detective is able to guess the frog, then the frog takes the detective spot in the middle of the circle and a new frog is chosen. Burn. This game I altered a little bit for COVID. Typically, the game is played by having everyone in a circle. One student sits or stands in the middle of the circle with their eyes closed. The person in the middle then counts to 20. While the person is counting, an object is passed in order around the circle. After counting to 20, the person in the middle yells burn, and the person with the object in their hand is out. To make it COVID safe, instead of passing an object around, the students will raise their hand and put it back down. The person whose hand is up when burn is yelled is out. Zip, Zap, Zop. Another low maintenance circle game. This game is great with both a small group and a large group. Someone starts off the game by passing a zip motion to someone else in the circle. The next person immediately has to respond with zap, and then the third person responds with zop. The pattern starts over with zip, zap, zop. If someone pauses or uses the wrong phrase, they are out. The object of the game is to be the last person standing. Categories. This is a throwback game for sure. To play, everyone stands in a circle and someone gets to pick the category for the group. One by one, everyone in the circle must name something that fits into that category, all while staying on beat. Anyone that messes up is out. Letter challenge. This game is similar to categories, however, only one person has to list as many items that they can think of that starts with the letter chosen by the person next to them. Each player is only given a minute and are given a point for each item that they list. Players will try to knock each other out of the game by listing more items than the person that came right before them. You can also play this game by splitting your class into two groups and having them line up. Each person at the front of the line will have to go back and forth naming items with the same letter until someone can't think of a word anymore. When the next player comes up, both players are given a new letter. Big booty. I love this game. Just prepare for your students to be saying big booty all week because I'm telling you, they love this game. This game works best in a circle of 5 to 6 students. So again, you can play with your whole class. Just make sure that you split them up into groups no larger than 6. Everyone is numbered off. However, one person, instead of giving a number, is named Big Booty. Everyone will call out their name first or their number first, and then someone else from the circle. Everyone has to stay on beat or they are out. 3, 6, 9. This game is best suited for older students because there's going to be a lot of counting involved. But one by one, everyone in the circle counts starting from 1 and then keeps going. Anytime a student reaches a number that contains the numbers 3, 6, or 9, they cannot say that number. They have to clap. Anyone that messes up is out. You want to be the last person standing. WAP. This is another circle game, and it's best for large groups and easier for your older students to pick up. But once you teach this to younger kids and they catch on, they love it too. You just have to show them what it looks like. But someone passes a WAP to someone else in the circle. That someone has to hold their hands up like a tree, and immediately following, the people right next to them have to swing in front of that tree like an axe. The person that acted as a tree must then pass that WAP to someone else in the circle. And anyone that breaks the rhythm of the circle is out. Again, the object of this game is to be the last person standing. This concludes my list of 16 COVID-safe recess games. I think the best way to keep things interesting is to make sure that you're collaborating with your grade level team. Each teacher should be offering one game for the kids to play, and then let the kids just kind of drift from classroom to classroom based on the games that they want to play, or whether you're outside, just letting them still kind of drift from teacher to teacher based on what game they want to play. If you have students that are not interested in playing any games at all, that's totally fine. Just have them sit near you as you're facilitating your own games. You want to still make sure that children get the benefits of the vitamin D from the sun, because it's a lot to be cooped up inside. So don't think of this pandemic as limiting your options. Think of it as challenging your creativity. Remember, we're all going to get through this together. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to see more content from me. See you guys later.